Good morning. The week's going by. It's Thursday, October 15th, and this is Wise Words from Waldo. On Tuesday, I shared a devotion with an illustration that came from the life of Viktor Frankl. He was a Nazi death camp survivor. Today's devotional illustration also comes from his life and the life of another Nazi concentration camp survivor. But I want you to get the spiritual point before I share the two stories. A grateful heart is a great heart. Victor spent time in the Nazi death camp Auschwitz. One of the lessons he learned was to take time to be thankful and count his blessings. He wrote that the prisoners often dreamed at night about certain things more than other things. Bread, cake, and a warm bath were the things they dreamt about the most. Imagine that. The same things you and I take for granted every day. Gerda Weissman was also a prisoner at a Nazi death camp. She recalled an episode one spring. As she and her fellow inmates stood at roll call for hours on end, some of them would collapse and they'd be beaten. They were so hungry. But one day they noticed something. In that bleak, horrid, gray place, a tiny flower had poked through the concrete that had cracked. For days, the hundreds of women took great pains to avoid stepping on that small flower. It was the only thing of beauty in their ugly and horrible world. And they were grateful for that tiny little flower. The other day I pushed the lever on the ice maker in our refrigerator door. Cubed came out. Well, I wanted crushed, dumb ice maker. Immediately, my mind reminded me of a mission trip I'd been on in the jungles of Guyana. 10 days, no air conditioning, no refrigeration, no ice, no relief from the impressive rainforest heat, day and night. I longed for something cold to drink. I'd been there over a week. And I laid on my cot that night, and I promised never to take ice cubes for granted again. And years later, I was upset because it was cubed and not crushed. You know, it's sad. The more we have, the more we take for granted. And the more we take for granted, the less grateful we are. Now stop and think about that.